So Macedonia is in the Balkan region. Our neighbor countries are Serbia, Bulgaria, Greece, and Albania. And we are a small country of approximately 2 million people. The capital of Macedonia is Skopje, the city where I live in. Macedonia is a very beautiful country, especially for those who come from Europe or from Western cultures. They experience a totally different level of hospitality, kindness, good
Yeah,
food, good weather, nature. We have beautiful nature, mountains, lakes, beautiful landscapes. So it's definitely amazing experience for those who come from abroad. I know I have a
mm,
lot of friends who visited me here, and they were always so overwhelmed by the welcoming vibes, by the great food, by the warmth of people, and there is a lot to be seen, especially in the capital where I live in, but also throughout the entire country of Macedonia. We have a lot of interesting places, interesting experiences, very nature oriented, very raw in a way, but also so different from everything else that you can experience in Europe or throughout the world. And yes, so I'm really blessed to be born here because it gave me a home full with warmth and a place that I can always come back to, and a place where I'm fully accepted in a way that everything that I've become through the years was based from my base, from my roots, and from the happiness that I experienced at home. So no matter how much we grow, and sometimes we do outgrow our homes, and we want to
yeah,
experience something else, which is quite normal. But we always have a place to come home, and when we do, it's a great feeling.
yeah, yeah. It is like this. If you have a home, you have a shelter, and
Yes, exactly,
we
exactly.
we all need that protection. We all need that place where we can go back and feel safe. Uh, we feel that there is a fence around us, and the wolves cannot get in and eat us. So
Yes,
it can be the place where we were born. It can be a second one, but we need that. I think is absolutely
yes,
necessary. So
yes,
the world is a very different place when you
yes,
have that specific area where you feel that no one can come in and harm you. So
yes,
I'm glad you have that at home. Um, so it's a small country with but with a lot of neighbors because I'm coming from Portugal, so for me it's very interesting, and I lived in Central Eastern Europe for a while. One of the things was fascinating that I could have lunch, I could have breakfast in the place where I was living, then I could have lunch in another country, and then dinner in the third country and be back home. And I'm from Portugal, I'm from the edge. The idea of going to Spain, it's already an adventure because it's maybe like I'm very bad with the kilometers, but let's say 200 kilometers away from Lisbon, where I'm coming from. So it was a journey. You could go there and return on the same day. It would be exhausting, but you could do it. But if you live, especially in the Balkans, where you have plenty of neighbors around, so it's a very different setup. How is it for Macedonians to have so many nations next to you?
yes. Well, it's a blessing, I believe. We all have such mixed cultures within our region. And as you said, we can easily go to another country to have dinner there and come back home within an hour and a half or something like that. So that's always a good thing. A good thing is to be able to see different places, be accessible that easily, also for cooperation and professional relationships. You can easily collaborate within each other, which
Mm,
is such an advantage. I think that for smaller countries, we should always see the potential in our region, because as a region, we have a greater sense, greater opportunities. So yeah, so it's a great experience, and it's, as you said, now I can imagine when when I listen to you, being in Portugal and kind of being isolated, in the end. It can be just challenging to think of visiting another country, and we have it so accessible. So I guess it's a blessing. Yes.
It is, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like we still have the blessing of the ocean, the idea that you can just stare in front of it and try to guess or imagine what is on the horizon. That's priceless. Like I'm not sure if I'll give up that for a neighbor country. It's both have their benefits and cons, like everything else. So that's something that we can experience. But I was always fascinated, as I said, when I was living in Central Eastern Europe. Also, when you are on the highway, that maybe it's something I don't know, so banal for you and for people living in the Central Europe. But I remember being on a highway and then seeing the sign saying to the left is Slovakia, to the right is Ukraine, and north is Poland. It's like, really? Like this is like beyond. And for someone who likes to travel, it really touches you, like
Yes.
in a deeper sense. But I
Yes.
also know that your relation with your neighbors is not the most desirable. For instance, with Greece, there was even some issue around your name, and I think recently Macedonia changed the name. I don't know if it was official or not, to North Macedonia. At least the football team present themselves as North Macedonia. So can you
Yes.
talk us about it?
Yes, it's a very painful subject to our people, Macedonian people, because nobody is comfortable with changing the name of who they are, right? Like even as people, as things we call the name we use for calling things, we wouldn't be comfortable just changing that randomly. And imagine changing the entire, concept behind the name of a country. So it was a very difficult decision, and people who in our country obviously were not comfortable
Mm,
doing that, and we still haven't processed it that much. We still believe that our name is the same as it was, because to us it we will never be it will never be normalized for us to be suddenly something else
yeah.
from what we really are. But that was done in order to overcome difficulties because we are aiming to enter the European Union. That's the goal of Macedonia.
Mm,
A specific goal that's perhaps the only way to move forward. I know that a lot of countries who have entered the Union have regrets, but when you are such a small country as we are, belonging to some bigger picture might
yeah.
be a good thing. So that was impossible without handling the regional problems. And Greece has always had an issue with this with us. So the government at that time decided to make a step forward and change the name so we can overcome those difficulties. So politically, the difficulties and challenges with Greece are over.
Mm,
But of course, within the people, you can still sense the similar comments that we have been receiving even from before. But I believe that the newer generations are moving forward and kind of moving towards the future. So I feel like I have friends from Greece, and I have friends with whom I never talk about this, or friends who don't even care about this stuff. We're just people in the end. But of course, you have comments from other people. You have every single, we're all different. So we all differently view the situation.